What's going on, YouTube? R to the double E dash to the Z-O-N coming at you once again. Excuse me. I've made a video in a long time, man. It's been easily over a month, probably 2 months. I don't even remember what the last one was, but in any event, the video I'm going to make today is basically just a mashup of reactions that I kind of owe you guys since I haven't been on in forever. So we're going to get, in this video, my reaction to E3 2021. Basically, or namely, Nintendo and Microsoft, the two that actually matter. No offense to Sony fans. I'm just saying, Sony weren't even there. So, get my reaction on their presentations individually as they stand. Who I think won E3, because we always got to discuss that. And also, my reaction to Nintendo's announcement today, which was pretty damn cool. So, I'm just going to start off the bat with E3. Keep in mind, that we're going off of a year in which we, for the first time ever, skipped E3 completely. There wasn't even an E3. There was Summer Games Fest, whatever. You know, the Big Daddy, the WrestleMania, the Super Bowl, the NBA Finals of video games is E3, and it didn't even happen last year. So, of course, everybody's feeding for it now. And we come into it, and several companies are going to be there. And obviously, it's already happened. I'm just saying this is our thought process leading up to it. You know, everybody's going to be there except Sony. Sony already announced right off the bat that they're not going to be there. And a quick take on that, I will say for the first time ever, I'm actually going to be giving Sony props on that because, let's be honest, even the most probably not the most asinine Sony fanboy, they'll probably still fucking deny it. But anyways, people with a brain and with rationale can tell you and can attest to the fact that Sony right now doesn't have anything to talk about. Okay, they don't have anything to show off. Their fans, and they like to spin it this way, and their fans like to piggyback and shit all over Microsoft fans and Microsoft themselves because the Xbox Series X doesn't have any big exclusives. The Medium is there, it's fucking awesome, by the way. Flight Simulators, there are exclusives. It's just how you spin shit. They don't have any big exclusives, but if you really look at the PlayStation 5 landscape, it's pretty fucking barren, and you don't have something like Game Pass to pass the time, do you? So, it sucks to be you. Series X, I had the Medium. I had Master Chief Collection, which is all the fucking best Halo games all wrapped in one, multiplayer and campaign. I have freaking Sea of Thieves that I'm fucking going crazy on. I have Forza Horizon 4. Flight Simulator comes out in a couple of weeks, okay? Game Pass day one. Right? They literally have 6 big exclusives or 6 big game releases each of the next 6 months going into the holidays. But they're barren. Sony basically got to the point where they're like, look, man, we don't really have much right now. We just released Ratchet and Clank. It did well. They were either going to do or they did. I don't really know which. The God of War, the first footage of God of War, which I'm sure will be awesome. But aside from that, I mean, you really don't have much going on. So they took the high road and they said, listen, you know what? We're not going to waste the consumer's time. We're not going to show up with a presentation, get our fans hyped, and then show the same shit they've always seen or nothing new at all and let them down. We're just, hey, look, right now we don't have nothing to talk about. Props to them, because they really don't. Microsoft, you know that Microsoft was going to come with a fucking megaton bomb because they just bought up fucking 20-something studios, including Bethesda. So, yeah, man, my throat is killing, bro. I just came from blazing, man. My shit is fucking... So, you knew Microsoft was going to come with a lot of fire because they bought up all these studios. Nintendo, the Switch Pro rumors and all this shit going on. So, we knew that both shows were going to be hyped. Capcom showed up. So did, I think EA did. Squaresoft did. I think Bethesda did. Well, Bethesda did with Microsoft. So, there was a bunch of companies. The majority of those companies should have followed Sony's advice or Sony's path and just said, you know what, we really don't have shit to talk about, let's stay home. But I guess they didn't do it because if it was just Nintendo and Microsoft, it really would just be a Nintendo Direct and a Microsoft, event. E3 is, everybody. So I guess that's kind of why they kept that. But, I mean, really, a lot of those shows were a waste of time. So when it comes down to the big two, I'll be honest, Nintendo's show was not bad. It wasn't great either. For me, I just found it as... It was entertaining. It was well-paced. There was a lot of shit. They showed 25 games, if I'm not mistaken. It was just one of those that personally, for me, this year gamer, I was like, yo, 95% of this Direct is just not for me. This is for other people. Which is cool. But for me, I was just like, you know, stuff that we already knew about. Skyward Sword HD looks phenomenal. I am not double dipping. I have it on the original Wii. I played it with the original fucking motion controls, the way it was designed to be played. Enjoyed the fuck out of it. It's a great Zelda game. But in this port, they're not adding anything significant to make me want to double dip. So I'm not doing it. And I already knew about the game anyways. Hyrule Warriors Calamity DLC, I don't give a fuck. Okay? Because honestly, Age of Calamity was a great announcement when they first made it. And it is a fun game. I played the demo. I enjoyed it. But it was like Hyrule Warriors. I mean, it's exactly like Hyrule Warriors. But I'm saying like it's I'm talking about like the original. In the sense that, especially for someone who's not a Warriors fan, like the Dynasty Warriors gameplay, I loved Hyrule Warriors because it was so fresh and new. It was, like throwing all the Zelda characters in there into that kind of gameplay and just going buck wild by having so many cameos and all that. Awesome. But that's a one-time thing. Age of Calamity just seems like a repeat, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's fun, and I'm sure for people who played it all the way through, it's an amazing game. And at some point, I'm going to have to do it because it does fill in the story of the Breath of the Wild, universe. So, but it's not anything crazy or special that I want. Like Mario Maker, the original, first time ever. Amazing, they finally let us make our own Mario games and Mario levels. Mario Maker 2 on the Switch. I could have already been here. So it's like, it's I'm not double dipping. Like I said, and then Age of Calamity. Then they had, here's what really pisses me off about Nintendo. And it's not just Nintendo, it's a business move. I get it. You're going to make money. But it's just slimy, dude, when I think about it. So you make Super Mario Party about a year and a half ago. That, I'm not going to say it's a bad game, because it's not. Mario Party is always a great game. But it's just like, it's Mario Party. I mean, we've seen it a million times. This one wasn't the best one ever, and it still sold over 10 million. But you made that a year and a half ago. And now, you come to E3 2 years later, basically, and basically, instead of saying, hey, we're going to update that Mario Party that you guys keep buying, but we don't give a shit about, yeah, we're gonna start updating it and supporting it with content since you guys are still buying it and you guys love the game. Instead of doing that, no, what we're going to do is we're going to make an all-new Mario Party that's going to have the type of online multiplayer ability that you wanted in this one, but we're just going to make it in a whole brand new one and charge you $60 for it. All right, fuck you very much. That's basically what they did. Instead of just updating your current Mario Party with all this extra shit and the ability, that online, do a patch where you can have that same online engine or that same online infrastructure in the game as opposed to the one it has now. And there you go. And then you have all this amazing content. And that would have been, you would have lost money in the sense that if you really want to do that big, like that move that big, you're going to do it for free. So you're going to lose money there. But the fucking good faith that you create, man, and the support for a game that you didn't even think was going to be successful because you haven't supported it up until now, a whole fucking almost 2 years later, you let that shit just sit there with all the bare bones shit that it had, and people bought the fuck out of it and kept buying it, and you were like, oh, fuck, they're still buying it. All right, let's do something about it. But it's slimy because you're making them pay $60 for a whole brand new game where you could just patch the one that they currently have, and bam. But, so, that was whatever. A lot of stuff in the Nintendo Direct was not for me. But when they announced, when they start talking about, we are currently hard at work on the next entry in the Metroid Prime series, I'm like, yeah, and that's why we're not going to see it today. Because when you start off like that, oh, we're hard at work right now. It barely ever does that lead to but let's show you what we got so far. No, it never does. But we'll have to wait till a different time to get into that game. But right now, all right, they're going to show us something. This is probably the leaked Metroid 2D game that I've been hearing about, and it was Metroid Dread. This motherfucker saved the show for me. First of all, for those people that had that attitude of like, oh my god, it's a 2D game. I don't want to pay $60 for a 2D game. A 2D game's not worth that money. No. Again, at the risk of repeating myself, I graduated with a bachelor's in game art, in 3D game art, game design, character design. I've worked with Unreal Engine. I've worked with other engines. I've worked, whether in school or with a friend, in collaboration doing stuff, or just him teaching me since he's ahead of me. I've worked with 3D software, game engines, animation software, all this stuff. I've textured, I've UV'd, I've blocked out animations. I've done pretty much all of it. A 2D game, especially one that looks like Metroid Dread or Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, or Ori and the Will of the Wisp, or Ori and the Blind Forest. Those, just because the camera's fixed at a 2D perspective, doesn't mean that those aren't actual 3D worlds that require all the same work and all the same effort that a 3D game does. Because it's the same engine. It's the same world. When you go, for example, into Unreal Engine 4, and you go and you start trying to design your game, and you start off your template of what kind of game you have, they have, 2D side scroller, first person, third person, overhead perspective, all these different play styles and camera angles. You're still working within the same engine, and you're still putting forth the same amount of effort and work and resources and man hours and all of that. None of that changes just because it's a 2D perspective. All you're doing is fixing the camera from a 2D perspective on the side and not allowing the camera to change from that. That's all you're doing. But the world is still a 3D world with 3D assets that cost real work. Okay, so it's the same process. So of course it's worth $60. Anyway, Metroid Dread looks amazing. It looks atmospheric. It looks like our classic Metroid 2D Metroidvania, backtracking, harrowing, isolated experience. It has a very alien vibe, like Alien the movie. A very dark vibe, very, very creepy, which is awesome. And I love that when they showed the trailer off, they had fucking footage to show. You know what I'm saying? They showed the different aspects of the gameplay, different parts of the story. Like, this shit is ready to go. That's why it's coming out in October. It's fucking awesome. But at the beginning of that trailer, with the black screen, it just says Metroid 5. And I'm like, fuck yeah. First of all, that's almost like a little backhand shot at Prime 4. Like, get your shit together. And we just came out of nowhere. We're ready to go. You guys been working on this shit for 4 years? But whatever. Not even that. It was just Metroid 5. Which means yes, and they confirmed it for the first time in about 19 to 20 years, they're finally moving Samus's story forward. We're not doing some Star Fox shit and just making the same game over or variations of the same game over and not moving the story forward. We are going to move the story forward. Fuck Prime. Fuck what Prime does. The Prime universe is a whole different thing. I know they try to mismatch it in the actual Metroid timeline, or fans do. I don't know how to get into that shit because I'm not that big of a Metroid fan. I'm a big fan of the games, the lore and the story. I know the basics. I don't know all the crazy shit or how this fits over here or whatever. Even in Zelda, I don't know all of it. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, moving the story forward. We're not fucking staying in the same place. We're actually gonna add lore to this. We're gonna add development and growth to Samus and to her experience and all that. And it looks fucking phenomenal, dude. It looks badass, bro. I was like, that saved the show for me. Then, after that, later on, I think the last thing they showed, if I'm not mistaken, was the sequel to Breath of the Wild. Notice I'm still calling it the sequel to Breath of the Wild, or Breath of the Wild 2, because there's no official title yet. Oh, reason, that's not a big deal. Nintendo, you know how they work. They'll create gameplay and a game concept, and then, build the story around it and stuff like that. Okay, yeah, sure, no problem. Here's the thing. They did show a trailer. And it was a beautiful trailer. And it gave me a good idea, to some degree, of what I can expect in this game. Which was ultra comforting for me, because it confirmed to me that this game looks like this game is going to be in the running for greatest game of all time, just like its predecessor. So, that's what we do. Love it. Okay. It was underwhelming. And it was underwhelming because it was so short. I think it was like a minute and a half. With the dramatic, screen going black, or, text to tell you some story or whatever. Between all that shit, how much actual footage do you get? We did see that it involves a lot of verticality and the skies above Hyrule, that's fucking awesome. We did see Link has some new abilities. Like, he has one where he literally teleports up into the sky, and he becomes kind of like, he's still himself, but I guess he becomes somewhat like water, because he hits the bottom of a ledge on a cliff, and a water drop goes into it and comes out on the top. And is ready to, traverse the top of that area. So, new power like that, that's pretty cool. We saw Link also has this rugged, fucking the barbarian type look, and, at least in some parts, he's running through the field, and he's got this white, the top almost looks like I almost want to say a toga, but it's not a toga, but it's a white, fucking, I don't even know what to call it, man. Let's call it a toga wannabe. And then he's got, his pants with a little bit of armor on, he's running. And his fucking hair is long. It's just flapping in the wind and shit, dude. So, guy, he don't have the little ponytail anymore. He's rugged now. I didn't see one thing that I wanted to see. One thing I want from the next Breath of the Wild game, this one, the sequel to Breath of the Wild, is underwater levels. I want Link to be able to swim underwater, like in other Zelda games. And I didn't see that, so that's discomforting. But there was a lot of badass shit in that trailer. It looks great, man. It looks great. It's just too short. And then, of course, at the end, we're aiming for 2022. That means, at best, holiday of next year. Holiday of 2022. More than likely, what that means, since they're aiming for it, is they're going to miss it. And it's going to be delayed and pushed into 2023. So potentially, I hope not, but potentially, we might not get this game until Christmas of 2023. 2 years. So that's 2.5 years from now. Which would make it all together be, that would be 6 years. So even having a more easier to develop for system, even having a stronger chip and GPU than you've ever had, even having the engine already created because Breath of the Wild has been here since 2017, you still take 5 to 6 years to make a Zelda game. Nothing's changed. But anyways, that was whatever. That was really cool, but again, very short. Those were the only two things for me in that entire E3, to be honest. Metroid Dread, sequel to Breath of the Wild 2. That's it. And at least Metroid Dread is coming in a couple of months. In October, day one. So, that was Nintendo's show. It really wasn't for me. Again, it wasn't bad. It wasn't great. It was decent. It was well-paced. 25 games, roughly, they mentioned, and boom. And, your big ones. What I didn't like, again, the rumored Donkey Kong game wasn't there. No Wave Race, no F-Zero, no Star Fox, no fucking nothing that Nintendo fans that want to come back. Nintendo's like, nah. So whatever. The show was right. Whatever. Microsoft. Them motherfuckers. They killed E3. You know what I'm saying? I know we always, look, man, I don't like to fan, I'm fucking lying. I love it. I love the flames of, ridiculous fanboy console wars. But the fact of the matter is we do talk about who won every year when we discuss E3. All right, who do you think won? Who do you think put on the better show? There is no disputing here. Microsoft put on the best show of the entire week, of the entire E3 2021. Microsoft blew the fucking doors off of everybody. Bro, and I knew it was going to happen because, number one, they were showing up. It was Microsoft and Bethesda together. It was literally called the Microsoft and Bethesda E3 or Microsoft and Bethesda Showcase or whatever. Because that's how many studios are under Bethesda that Microsoft now owns. They showed off 30 fucking games. That's not an exaggeration. That's the number. 30 games, 27 of which will be available day one on Game Pass. Starting from now, going throughout the year and into 2022. They actually have 6 major console releases in the next 6 months, leading right into the holiday. Okay? Flight Simulator comes this fucking month for Series X. I cannot wait for that shit, because if you watched E3, you saw when they showed Microsoft Flight Simulator on Series X, and they stated, so you know, motherfuckers, all footage is running on a Series X 4K at 60 or 120, I don't remember. Running at 4K on Series X. You saw how smooth that shit was? You see how there wasn't no frame skipping or screen tearing, nothing. It was just buttery smooth, and it looked like the fucking actual world you were watching. I can't wait for Flight Simulator. Fucking can't wait. Yeah, man, like they 30 games, 27 of them on Game Pass day one. Man, the game they closed the show with, Redfall, looks fucking fantastic. Bro, the game they opened the show with, Stalker 2, Heart of Chernobyl. I haven't seen anything yet. No bullshit dead-ass series. I ain't seen shit yet on the PlayStation 5 that looks like that game does. That looks like Stalker 2, Heart of Chernobyl. Now, again, I don't know if that's exclusive. It'll probably be on PS5 also. And then we can compare them side by side. But that is the first game I have seen on that large a scale that looks like a next-gen experience. Graphically. It looks crazy. Bro, when they announced Forza Horizon 5, they won right there. When they did that, and they showed off in detail how fucking badass that game is and how real that shit looks. And I put hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours into Forza Horizon 4 on my Series X. I fucking love that game. That is my type of racing game. Open world, different kind of events, go wherever you want. It's not like you're going like, okay, this is the next race, this is the next race. No, you gotta get to the races and get to the hidden cars and all that in the open world. I love that shit, man. So when they announced that and they showed it off and you saw the fucking power of the Series X, it's like, yo. When they showed Halo Infinite multiplayer. And, there are little clips here or there of the campaign, which looks awesome. It looks fucking, like the story's going to be a fucking, like a doozy. If you know Halo, you watch the little bit that they showed at E3 about the whole Cortana thing and all that, it's like, oh shit. It's gonna be crazy, dude. But the fucking multiplayer looks so goddamn good, so epic. I cannot wait for that shit, bro. And it's free. It's free. Man, and day one on Game Pass. What else? When they showed Psychonauts 2, that was pretty cool. When they showed, man, what was it? Keep in mind that this was a couple weeks ago, and I'm trying to go off the head because I'm mad late with this reaction. They had Stalker 2, Heart of Chernobyl. They had Redfall. They had the game from the developers of Left 4 Dead. I forgot what it's called. But it's the same kind of concept, the same type of game, just in a next gen environment, next gen graphics. That looks fun as hell. Sea of Thieves got the Pirates of the Caribbean, the Pirates Life expansion. Which, bro, I'm telling you, I'm playing through it right now. It is a lot of fucking content, and it's fucking free. And it's Jack Sparrow. Nobody's gonna tell me that that's not Johnny Depp actually voicing him, because everybody I've heard in this expansion that's been a Pirates of the Caribbean character, they all have their voices like down pat. So that might be the actual voice actors. But either way, the fucking content's amazing. The story's good so far. I'm loving it. Every time fucking Jack Sparrow's on screen, it's fucking classic, just like in the movies. But the fucking game is, bro, Sea of Thieves continues to deliver. Continues to fucking just, bro, the developers continue to give us content and content and content. I think we're now on season 3 or whatever. The shit is fucking crazy, dude. So yeah, Sea of Thieves got that expansion, which is perfect. Just like Flight Simulator got Maverick, the Top Gun expansion. So Microsoft was hitting it with a fucking DLC. It was like, yo, this shit is like perfect DLC for the games for which they belong. Then we had, like I said, Psychonauts 2. What else? We didn't see Avowed, at least not in the main show. Trying to remember. I can't remember. Like, this was fucking weeks ago. There was so much shit. There was 30 fucking games, bro, and I was just like flabbergasted at most of them. The Ascent looks fucking amazing. And the crazy part is all this shit's on my Series X right now, pre-installed. I saw Flight Simulator, like, fucking Forza Horizon 5, and now the Ascent, all of them pre-installed. Anyways, like I said, I can't think of many more games because it's like it was like I said, weeks ago. But suffice it to say, Microsoft came with fucking game after game after game. Oh, they started off by showing a little bit of Starfield, and saying it's a 2022 game. It's not coming this year. But it's exclusive to Xbox, and the little bit that they showed already, like, just tickled my balls, man. I was just like, I want to see what this game is, dude. Man, they had a lot, man. But the bottom line is, Microsoft had so much, and there was very little talking. There was very little interrupting the pace. It was very boom, boom, announcement, and after every single one, damn near 27 out of 30, you saw play it day one on Game Pass, and I'm just there like. So they had all the games, they had all the announcements, they had release dates for pretty much everything. When you line everything up, they're literally giving you 6 big game releases in the next 6 months. There's one every month. This month is Flight Simulator. Yeah, man, like, they killed it. And their show was an hour and a half long. And an hour and a half, and you weren't bored for a second. You were just like, oh shit, look at this game. Oh, look at this game. Oh shit. But yeah, so day one E3, like, hands down, it's not even debatable. They just killed it, dude. They just killed it. Nintendo did alright. Nintendo was a second place, but don't get it twisted. It's not like a close second. Nintendo was like a distant second, and really a distant second by default because Sony wasn't there, and fucking Capcom and these people shit the bed with their bullshit presentations. And, the only good one from Ubisoft was Mario and Rabbids, the sequel. A Spark of Hope or whatever. That looks really good. The first one was awesome. So, but yeah, so there's that. There's the E3. Now, I also want to react to Nintendo's announcement today. That happened today. That I thought I was fucking tripping when I came across it on YouTube. I want to say it was RGT85. I had seen his because I'm subscribed to him. I saw him pop up on the feed, and I saw Nintendo announces Switch OLED. I'm like, oh shit. So yeah, brand new Nintendo Switch OLED model, OLED edition. Whereas your standard Switch right now has a 6.2 inch LED, LCD screen, or OLED, I don't remember. 6.2 inch. This has a 7 inch OLED display that can hit the same resolutions as your Switch has right now, so there's no change there. 780p on handheld, up to 1080p docked. Sleek, sick, and I can't believe I'm saying this because I know that they didn't fix the fucking Joy-Cons. I know the Joy-Cons are still going to have the fucking issue they always had. And I'm going to be sending them into Nintendo for fucking repair for free because I'm not paying for shit that they fucked up. But still, those white Joy-Cons on this system, that shit look clean. All right, that shit looks clean, bro. Dude, first of all, with the big screen on it, the bezels are so much thinner now because the screen is bigger, so it doesn't look. It looks more pristine. It looks more premium. You know what I'm saying? It more fucking like yo legit. Like okay, this is worth money. This is well made. Has a fucking wide adjustable kickstand in the back. I'm not gonna lie. For me, that's not a big deal because I don't play a lot of my Switch on tabletop. It's very rare. I think I've done it 3 times in the entire fucking what is it now? Going on past 4 years that I've had the system. But that's still cool because the kickstand they have breaks off real easy. It's real flimsy, really crappily made. Double the storage, which is cool. It's 64 gigs. 64 gigs is nothing. 64 gigs, you can't even fit Call of Duty, the new one, on that shit. But for the majority of games, you know, the original Switch came with 32, so this is doubling that up, which is, you know, you can't sneeze at that. But at the end of the day, it's still a very paltry amount of memory, so you're still going to be using SD cards. The only difference now is that you can fit double the amount on your console before you have to start utilizing an SD card. But that's cool also. The dock looks fucking nice, okay? And the dock to me has always been... One second. The dock has always been this cheap-ass fucking piece of plastic with some USB ports, right? Even this, look how hollow this sounds. You see? It's just very soft. You know what I'm saying? And there's all that the dock is. It's just this, right? It's pretty useless. You know, all it really does is put it on the TV and give it a slightly better resolution. But the dock on this new motherfucker, first of all, it looks beefy. I love it. I don't know if it's because it's white, so it's brighter, so it may look bigger. But it's also rounded. Like it's not like square and angular like that one was. It's more rounded at the top. It looks a lot more like, you know, like they took, you know, pride in the design of it. Has one less USB port, and that's because it's finally packing out an Ethernet port right there on the dock, which is awesome. What else? Oh, and I'm a sucker for shit like this, but this is what really got me. Not the fact that it's an OLED screen, it's a bigger screen. Games like Breath of the Wild that already look gorgeous on that LCD screen are gonna look fucking, bro, it's gonna be night and day. The color saturation, the clarity, all your games are gonna look like brand new games. You know, if you have an eye for it, like, you know, like if you're just some casual, you know, I hate the term casual, but if you were just some, you know, person that's not really that into gaming, you might not really notice all that much. You might just be like, oh, it's brighter. But somebody who actually looks at this shit and plays a lot of games, I look at it on an OLED versus an LCD, it's night and day. The same thing, the same media will look severely different on the OLED. So that's a great thing. It's not that though. What got me is that the dock is white, and so it has the Switch logo on the dock like this dock does, but it's LEDs. At least it looks like it, because when they put the Switch in that motherfucker, that shit lit up white. That's like a white LED, and I was just like, white on white, and it just looks so clean. I was just like, I'm doing it. Now here's the shit kicker. I am not. It's $350. Okay, so that OLED screen and those little upgrades, which aren't that. I'll get into it. It's not really that much of an upgrade, dude. But you know that's worth $50 apparently. I'm not paying $350 out of my pocket for this system. What I hope to do is what I did to get the Switch I have now, which is the better battery version, the first revision they made. I traded in the original towards it, and they had some kind of deal going where, you know, the Switch is $300. If you trade in your current Switch for the new revision one, you got like $225. So all you had to pay was $75, and you got a brand new Switch. Something like that, I'll do it. Put it this way, that shit is gonna cost $350. Okay, $350. So what that means is, if I trade in my current Switch, they need to give me at least $200 for it, if not more. But if they give me $200 or more, I'll pay the difference for the Switch OLED. If they don't, I'll just wait till that motherfucker comes down, or till I have the money to spend, because I'm not gonna go chase it. It's not that much of an upgrade. It really isn't. Same resolution, same computing power, same graphical capabilities, same features as far as being able to dock it, being able to take it on the go. With the OLED, you get a better, bigger screen. You get an Ethernet port in the dock, which is awesome. I said it, but I really don't use Ethernet. Like, I'm good with Wi-Fi. I'm not one of those competitive, crazy freaks. But let's say that I want a better connection. Let's say I want to see if Smash Brothers will finally not lag with Ethernet, which I doubt, because people who have Ethernet still complain about it. then I would test it for something. I would use it for something like that. But really, that's not a fucking upgrade for me. Really, I don't care. The kickstand, awesome. It's better quality, but I don't care. I better use it. You know. So all I'm really getting here is a bigger, better screen and a fucking sick ass looking dock and the nice white Joy-Cons. I'll pay $100 to $150 for that. So if they give me $200 or 200, let's say they give me $215, and all I gotta put in is the rest, you know, $135, no problem. I'll do that because it is a premium looking system, and it is an upgrade to some degree. It's just everything's gonna be the same as far as performance. So I'm not paying $350. Sorry, not when the fucking Series S is $300, and it's a vastly superior console. But you know what I'm saying? It does look sick. It looks, bro, that white design with the fucking black of the Switch itself and the white and black dock. That shit look clean. That shit look clean. I'm not even gonna lie. I wanted it just for that. But I'm like, yo, I'm not that type of dude to be spending money like that. But I'm like, nah, bigger, better screen. It's worth it to a degree. So if I can fucking finagle the price, if I can, you know, say, look, I'll bring in my Switch with its original Joy-Cons. Here you go. It's in great condition. It works, And the Switch is in high demand still to this day. So they might be like, hey, look, we'll give you $205. So I'll pay the $145 for the fucking for the OLED. So anyways, I thought the announcement was cool. I am disappointed, just like a lot of people are, in the fact that it's just a revision of what we have. It's still what we have technically. It's not the Pro. It's not a 4K capable machine. It's not a significant leap in power. Third-party games are still going to struggle on it. But as far as to have it as a Nintendo system, Switch is great, man. So if I can trade mine in and they'll give me the at least, like I said, at least $200 for it, done deal. I'll pay $150. Anyways, man, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. God bless y'all. Stay gaming. Peace.